Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and joining us here tonight in the studio, we're joined by Dr. Amany Howla, the physician actually, and also the head of an NGO and a newspaper writer as well. Dr. Howla, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Doctor, now, first of all, we're talking about social protection initiatives and the efforts exerted by the government and the presidency to really alleviate and ease the burdens of the Egyptian citizens and families. Before we start delving into some of these initiatives, one of the initiatives that was talked about today was the Warm Winter Initiative. Now we are approaching, not really, we are in the middle of the winter now,
yeah.
and it could be a hard time for many of the Egyptian citizens, and such an initiative, a Warm Winter Initiative, which is something not really new because Egypt has been carrying out such an initiative over the years. How would you rate such an initiative continuing the tradition of taking care of the needy?
Of course, we have first to thank God. Yeah, we have a great gift, which is the sun of the winter. We are one of the cleanest countries, actually, in the world. With the need of the blankets and supplies for the winter for Egyptian people are very modest in comparison with other countries.
Yes.
Of course, it's a great initiative, but I have some concerns concerning any initiative has a concept of donations, because unfortunately we started decades ago to teach people to be demanding and to try to catch as much as they can. So I prefer to have rules. And for example, we have the ID number, which is provided in the Tamween.
Yes, the supply certificate, the license.
The certificate of the donations. We could add it to it instead of giving them randomly or distributing them in open areas. Or I don't want. I'm not happy to see some images. It's not accepted for a nation like Egypt.
Yes.
But this is the only concern I'm trying to. I hope they can regulate the system or make a system to avoid this point.
Yes, definitely. Now, Dr. Howla, we can talk about many initiatives that would really alleviate the standard of living for the Egyptian citizen. The top initiative, which is the Decent Life Initiative, taking care of over 4,000 villages nationwide. Now, the launch took place in 2021. The idea was in July 2019. It was actually launched, the first phase, in 2021. Now, in January next month, we will start the second stage of it. We've seen this initiative tackle many different sectors and aspects of the Egyptian life, be it the education, infrastructure, health, social, everything. How would you rate the experience of the first phase so far, getting ready to embark on a second stage next month? How would you rate the achievements of the first phase of the initiative?
Of course, the beginning of anything has some difficulties and need some correction. But the greatest thing in the first phase that Egyptian people used to hear promises which will never be applied or fulfilled. So it was the first step to gain trust and to make people feel they are really finding on the ground what they are listening to. But this is the greatest achievement of the first phase. Then we started to gain more trust and cooperation, and people are starting to feel happy, to feel trustful, which is a very good point we needed after decades of just having hopes and never see anything in front of them. And also, of course, everything has some mistakes, and we should correct all the time. we can say it's small mistakes happened due to not having good registrations of the circumstances of people. They are started to improve the level by making some kind of field survey and to make more accurate details about all the people, to make better filtration, which is very great, yani. And I hope people also be supervising with us to help the needy people to get the rights instead of the other people who are trying to invade the idea.
Now, in the second phase, the initiative is targeting over 1,000 more villages. Now, what is the criteria, or how would they pick the villages that would be suitable for the implementation of the second phase? I mean, what is the criteria of the villages? How do they pick the villages that will be subjected to the implementation of the Decent Life second phase?
Actually, we have a very scientific and very well made criteria, including starting from the smallest details up to the largest one. Yani starting from the mobile, what are the utilities available in the families. Yani even we are looking for if they have iron, if they have television, if they have hot water. All the details we make like marks, and to make a calculation to discover the best we can make the right decision about. So, and every time it's improving. Yani, sometimes we have people in rural areas, actually, they have special nature. They don't show off what they have. Yani. You feel people are very poor, but actually they have land, they have some animals. But we started to discover how to make better studies and how to discover more the needy people.
Does it become easier with each phase? I mean, you've said that obviously because when something starts, you face a certain kind of difficulties and challenges, and now we're embarking on a second phase. Does it become more difficult because maybe we're targeting a different sort of criteria of villages, or does it become easier because we've already learned from what took place in the first phase?
Of course, it becomes much easier. And actually, I cannot tell you how surprised we were of some villages. Actually, they are as if they are living in other ages. They don't have any very simple rights to gain as a citizen. They don't even have that. And it's a long time ago. I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy they start to feel they have the rights, starting from educating them, training them, have vocational training to have chances to work, which I prefer more instead of just giving them some supplies.
Yes. Well, we're talking about the social protection programs, and it will really cost the country a budget worth over 490 billion pounds, amounting to approximately $26 billion for the year 2022-2023. With all the inflation and the economic recessions taking place around the world, does it still make it a much more difficult task to really embark on the social development initiatives, not just the Decent Life initiative? I mean, we're talking about the Takaful and Karama, we're talking about the Warm Winter initiative, we're talking about the Decent Life, along with many other specialized social protection initiatives related to women, to certain professions, to teachers. Does it make it much more difficult, the financing aspect of it?
Actually, we can say a better word, which is it's a challenge. Of course, even the very well developed countries are suffering a lot. The citizens there are suffering a lot. They cannot find even food to that extent. While we are not just talking about maintaining our life, we are talking about improving our lives. It's a great challenge, actually, and I can tell confidently that I'm seeing very good steps in this challenge.
Dr. Howla, now you've mentioned when we're talking about the social protection initiatives, one of them is the Takaful and Karama, the Solidarity and Dignity Program. And the more beneficiaries are included in such an initiative amounting to 1 million. That's about 500,000 families with its own financing. And you've really pointed out earlier on the show the importance of the criteria and the registration, knowing exactly who should be getting what they need and what they deserve. Allocating and adding 500,000 more families, 1 million people to the Takaful and Karama program. How much of a challenge and how would it benefit these 1 million citizens?
We can say we have parallel lines. To improve their lives first, and the most important part is to make them gaining their own way to live, not waiting for just donations. To open more projects, to make more chances, and to make more vocational training and better skills to improve their abilities to be wanted much more in the chances for work. All of this, if they are put together in parallel lines, we can make some improvement. Especially, you can say now, almost every day we have a new project. Every few days you can hear a new factory is opening. But they are in need of many people, especially the we can say heavy density kinds of work, like clothing, making clothing. They need a lot of workers. But this is the key to improve their lives by giving them better chances to work.
Yes, well, the Social Solidarity Minister, Niveen Al-Qabbaj, actually mentioned that females in Egypt obtain about 19% of the cash support to the Egyptian family, and there was a big emphasis on the small and medium.
This is the official.
This is the official, maybe even
actually
more. And there were a lot of talks about really helping them out, boosting the SMEs, the micro businesses and projects, giving them a real chance of starting their own work, getting more cash, more employment for females. How is that initiative and how is this special care for the Egyptian female is being observed and implemented?
Actually, the Egyptian female is making great role in the family challenges all the time. But now just we have some spots on it, that's it. For example, I was just happy that the even underground drivers became
females as well.
Females also. It's always there, even in the fields, in the rural areas. Whenever her husband needs her help, it always do it spontaneously. But we just recognize it now.
Yes.
The better thing that we are improving her skills. This is the point, makes her having better chances in the field of working.
Well, other than just women working, but also there's been many initiative and awareness campaigns responsible for family planning and dealing with domestic violence, dealing with sexual harassment, sexual mutilation for women. How responsive are the Egyptian women to such awareness campaigns, realizing that family planning is essential not just for their own well-being but for the Egyptian economy as a whole, the rights and freedoms that women should enjoy and prosper in Egypt?
The new generations, they are much more luckier because they can accept and they have a kind of flexibility to understand. But the old generation, unfortunately, they are resisting change. Even they put themselves in an inferior position and they feel this is their location. They cannot accept the new, not the new, they cannot accept the, we are trying to improve the female position in the society. But the way we used to think before is very strong in, with the old generations, but they don't have the same flexibility like the new generations. But we hope it needs time.
Yes. Well, also the Mawadda initiative, which really deals with really knowing exactly how to choose your partner and making sure that the women choose the right men and vice versa to really deal with a high divorce rate. Are the youngsters, the youth, the young men and women understanding the value of such an initiative? Are they taking advantage? And how could such an initiative really benefit the Egyptian family as a whole on the long run?
We hope we will achieve a gradual success, but we cannot deny that still they are looking at the ideas in a very, like it's something weird. They feel it's very invading to their privacy. But with time, we start to gain some trust, and I hope it will improve gradually.
Yes. Dr. Howla, you've mentioned the opportunities being available for women, for instance, to start their work. Now, which is more difficult, getting the women to start their own projects and micro businesses, or is it getting job opportunities for the freshly graduates, or trying to encourage other graduates and maybe even people who are currently working to take vocational training to upgrade their own set of skills to maybe even better their profession and work in an age where there is a lot of digital and digitization transformation in the work field?
I have to confess that the fresh graduates, they have their own aims and dreams, which are not practical. We have to be fluent in language. We have to be very good in the computer field. We have to improve our skills to dream. And we have to start with a modest start, then we improve. But unfortunately, we cannot see that in many cases. But it's easier for me to deal with women. They are asking for the simplest thing. And for me, I'm interested in the vocational work more.
Yes.
Because I'm looking for people who don't have any skills to start with them from the zero. This the part makes me happy, because people who are in the middle, they can improve themselves, they have chances. But people with no skills at all, they feel lost, they don't know how to start. And the start for me is the greatest thing to put them on.
Well, if maybe working from scratch with people with very limited set of skills is easier to get them to be vocationally trained, how can we encourage, as you've mentioned, the fresh graduates who maybe have bigger dreams and bigger aspirations to undergo more vocational training, more upgrading of their set of skills? I mean, how can we encourage the youth, the fresh graduates, to back up their big dreams and aspirations by getting more skills, improving and developing their own skills and their own training? How can we do that?
I hope we can have a presidential initiative, including that, and I hope it's obligatory, like going to the army. They have to visit the factories, go to the industrial areas, and make some volunteer work, even for 1 week, even. But they will understand the taste of and the value of work. How when I do something and start to see it as a product, the satisfaction of being productive, not just sitting on a table or on a desk dreaming of having a good position. But I hope they can make some kind of campaigns, even make it like a picnic, something they enjoy and they have some entertainment, but at the same time they visit the factories and they talk to people and to do some small help to understand the value of work.
Yes, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian government is actually very keen to alleviate the standards of the Egyptian families, working on many initiatives as we're talking about. And there is a national project for the development of the Egyptian family that is tackled in this following report. So let's check it out and we'll be right back.